opportunistic, and we realized this is now strategic, right? This is the strategy of the business. We're going to acquire a digital property, and Bitcoin is the world's greatest digital property, like a property development company. Like if I moved to Dubai and I decided just to buy all the land in Dubai, or all the land I could buy, or buy up all of Manhattan. So if you look at our 10K, right, our annual report, and the annual report of publicly traded company, it has to state what is its business strategy, and then what are the risks associated with it. That's part of the public company filing. So what you'll see is in 2021, the big change for us is our business strategy went from a single strategy to create and sell enterprise business intelligence software worldwide to two strategies, right? And one was the enterprise software strategy, and the second was a Bitcoin strategy. And the strategy is very clearly enumerated. Our strategy is to acquire and to hold Bitcoin. So the short answer to your question is we're going to keep buying Bitcoin forever. And the reason why is because the amount of Bitcoin coming on the market is exponentially falling, and we know it's asymptotically capped at 21 million. We also know that the stock to flow rate is rising asymptotically, or it's rising rapidly to infinity, and it's about to go negative. Right? It used to be the Bitcoin miners, when they were private, they were cash businesses. And so if you're a private operator operating maybe in China, you're mining Bitcoin and you're selling Bitcoin to get hard cash. But then when the markets developed, the public markets for Bitcoin and the public markets for Bitcoin mining stocks developed, these businesses became well capitalized. So if you look at what's happened in the past 12 months, most of the Bitcoin mining has shifted from China to the North America, and these companies have come public. So Marathon and Riot and Hut 8 and Argo, and soon Core Scientific will be public via SPAC. Just this last week, Bitfarms announced they bought 1,000 Bitcoin with cash. That's $42 million or worth of Bitcoin. Okay, it's a company buying Bitcoin as fast as it is mining Bitcoin. Marathon bought a bunch of Bitcoin earlier in 2021, and one thing that happened is all these publicly traded Bitcoin miners stopped selling their Bitcoin. Right now, because if you're a Bitcoin miner, you're being valued based upon your ability to generate Bitcoin, right? So if you're a public company investor, if you were buying a Bitcoin miner and you thought Bitcoin was going to go to zero, would you buy the miner?
No.
No. So all the public investors are long Bitcoin. They expect Bitcoin to go up, right? So what would you rather have? A Bitcoin miner that mines a lot of Bitcoin or little Bitcoin? Start to actually raise billions and billions of dollars in capital as credit and debt offerings and equity. Now they can either buy the Bitcoin mining rigs or they can buy the Bitcoin. Well, one thing that they can't really spend all that money on Bitcoin mining rigs. There's a limit to how much capacity they can buy and when they can bring it online. I think we're getting sold out. It seems to me like those mining rigs, the lead times are becoming a year and a half. So as they get better capitalized, that excess capital converts into not selling Bitcoin. And then when they get even better capitalized, excess capital becomes, I'm not sell Bitcoin, but I'm also going to accumulate Bitcoin. Okay, so now the stock to flow starts to switch from a stock to flow of 50 to a stock to flow of 100 to a stock to flow of 200. And then at some point, the stock to flow goes to infinity. And then the stock to flow goes, because the miners don't necessarily dump any Bitcoin on the market to sell. They're actually mining it to keep as an investment. And then they're buying excess Bitcoin because it's accretive to their balance sheet. It's accretive to their stock. So this is a pretty powerful trend. In fact, I think we saw Riot raise $600 million of equity in the fourth quarter. And we saw Marathon do a $650 million convertible debt deal in the fourth quarter. And we know that other companies, one in particular, I think, raised another $400 million. So 3 companies raised $1.5 billion, just 3 companies. If you look across the 24 publicly traded ones, it's a lot more. But if you look across the 24 publicly traded ones and the big 25 private ones, you can see that billions and billions of dollars of capital via private equity, debt, public equity, and credit lines are flowing to the miners. And all the miners have naturally long investors that are long Bitcoin. So what you have there is this very unique situation, maybe in the history of the world. We've never had a circumstance where the producers of the product were producing a scarcity. Like gold miners are producing a commodity. Silver is a commodity. Copper is a commodity. Glass and steel are commodities, right? There's an unlimited amount.